Guys, I have never thought about this before, but we do not respect Black beauty enough, and Michelle Obama is here to educate us. All right, happy Saturday. I have been ranting about a lot of political things this week. We have been talking about MAGA and Trump and all of the things. And so I thought for today, we should just have some fun and we should rant about something different, that being Michelle Obama, because the content that she is giving us right now is truly remarkable and I want to react to it. Before we dive in though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and of course, ring that notification bell to make sure that you stay up to date on all of our uploads. All right, let's just dive right in because guys, no one, and I genuinely mean this, nobody is as self-obsessed and negative than Michelle Obama. She is always complaining, always lamenting, she is always attacking people, and that is even more on display right now as she is doing a media tour to promote her new book called The Look. And guys, this is just so freaking perfect because this new book, it is a book of pictures of Michelle celebrating her style. But it's not just that. Michelle wrote and is publishing it herself. She is publishing this celebratory Michelle Obama book. This is not some book where she's like, here's my struggle, this is what I went through, these are my reflections on my time during the White House. No, it is, hello, here are 200 pages of me looking utterly fabulous and talking about it. I mean, like, that is literally the most Michelle Obama thing I have ever heard. And you might be going, okay, Brett, whatever, like there are tons of fashion books. Okay, yes, true. However, I feel like usually those are curated pieces about an individual done by somebody else. Like, for example, my sister-in-law is like obsessed with Harry Styles, and she and my brother-in-law have this coffee table book that is of Harry Styles and his fashion. It is called like Harry Styles and the Clothes He Wears, but it was curated and put together by somebody else. It is a piece about Harry Styles from the outside in, celebrating him. It was not done by Harry himself being like, look how fabulous and hot and amazing I am, which is basically what Michelle is doing with this new book. Because in this case, to me personally, it seems like Michelle is simply upset that, her podcast isn't really taking off. Not many people are watching. People aren't really caring about her and Barack anymore. And so she simply just needed some attention and she was going to drum it up herself. I mean, she has said it herself on podcasts. She wants more respect. And we will watch this.
People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like, I've written books. I've given speeches.
I'm living for Amy Poehler in that clip because she's like, oh, this is crazy. Where is this going? As Michelle is like, no, I'm not actually joking. You need to respect me. You can't think that I'm stupid. You can't walk away from me. I've written books. Okay, well, yeah, well, now you're curating pictures of yourself. Like, genuinely, guys, imagine if I went through my phone and I was like, oh my God, I look so good here. Let me put this in a book that everybody can buy. Like that. You guys would be like, Brett, step the F back. Like, let's take it down a peg. But because of this like brand, this fandom that the Obamas have curated, everybody is like, just like fawning all over her going, oh my God, yes, I want to see 200 pages of photos of you. Like all she wants people to do is obsess over her and she's going to make that happen no matter what it takes. Therefore, she wrote and curated The Look. And guys, this is just profound stuff. This is from the description. I know I basically gave you the description, but I do want to read it to you because it does crack me up. But anyway, New York Times bestseller. Good job, Michelle. Beautifully illustrated with more than 200 photographs. Oh, sorry, yes, I should issue a correction. Not 200 pages, 200 photographs. I don't know if that's any better. Anyway, including never before seen images, The Look is a stunning journey through Michelle Obama's style evolution in her own words for the first time. From the moment she entered the public eye during her husband's US Senate campaign, through her time as the first Black First Lady, and today as one of this country's most influential figures, I think she wrote this herself, Michelle Obama shares how she uses the beauty and intrigue of fashion to draw attention to her message. Why is Melania not doing this book? Like, if Melania Trump was like, I'm going to do a book on my fashion and my modeling, all of that, I would go, more power to you, snaps. I would sit down, I would buy the book because nobody has given her the recognition. They have not put her on magazine covers. We're gonna talk about that a little later. They have not respected her. They have not celebrated her style. So I would be like, yes, Melania, you celebrate yourself. But with Michelle, with the years and years of adoration and celebration that we have lived through with the Obamas, we don't need this. But moving on, they or she goes on to write, in The Look, Michelle Obama explores the joy and the purpose of fashion and the beauty and how, when wielded with grace grace and care, they can uplift and affirm the values one holds most dear. Confidence, she concludes, cannot be put on, but when you are wearing something that's intentional or beloved, clothing can make you feel like the best version of yourself. Wow, that is so true. I've never thought about it that way. I mean, catch me in line for an autograph, Michelle. I will not be walking away like you're stupid after reading that description. Anyway, I just like... It just makes me laugh because, come on, like, Michelle, this is so obviously like a relevancy and personal attention project. This is why you are publishing this book. Anyway, what is even better than the comedy of the book and the description itself is the victimhood PR tour that she has been on while she promotes this book, starting with the insane assertion that she and Obama were never given grace while they were in the White House. Just take a listen.
You said we were all too aware that as a first black couple, we couldn't afford any missteps.
Yeah.
And you also say, as a black woman, I was under a particularly white-hot glare. Did you feel that?
For sure. You can't afford to get anything wrong because you didn't get at least until the country came to know us, we didn't get the grace that I think some other families have got.
Ah, yes, in the 2000s. Just a couple of years after the civil rights movement, oh, we had no grace. Michelle, what is going on? It was 2008. You had grace. It was totally fine. Like, what is this? The white, hot glare of attention. People loved you. Everybody loved the Obamas. Like, genuinely, people on the right and the left were obsessed with you and your husband. Like, the Obamas, I guess I should say, they turned politics into what it is today. They turned it into something that is cultural, that was part of pop cultural because of how loved and how personable Barack was. Like, I mean, just 2 weeks ago, just talking about how they're still relevant, he was brought out on stage to help bring home a Democrat win in Virginia because he is still loved in your party, because he is still so relevant. Like, when they need help, they parade out Barack Obama because over a decade later, he is still that influential, and you are saying that you were not afforded grace until people really got to, just like, spare me. Now, bringing it back to Melania again, this is just so tone deaf considering how Trump and Melania especially have been treated over the last 10 years. I mean, they have consistently lied about her, viciously. They've made up lies about her and Epstein. You know, the pro-illegal immigrant party has said that she's an illegal immigrant and therefore we need to kick her out or do whatever. They've said that she's dumb, that she can't speak English. Meanwhile, they completely ignore the incredible work that she has done as First Lady, the help that she has given to children. They have refused to acknowledge her beauty, her career as a model. They have refused to put her on magazine covers when she is a literal model. Meanwhile, Michelle, I was chit-chatting with my friends over at ChatGPT and I asked them to do some quick research for me, and it looks like, in comparison to Melania, you were on at least 25 different magazine covers during your husband's presidency, including being on the cover of Vogue 3 times. So I'm sorry, we do not need a book that you are publishing about yourself to celebrate you and your style because it was celebrated 25 times while your husband was president. Like, that is not just grace and acceptance, that is adoration. So I'm sorry if I'm not interested in the sob story. Like, please just like spare us. Somebody commented and said, this is from Roberta. Sorry, Big Mike, no tiny violins are available for your pity party. Perhaps you should not have said that you hate the USA. Go back to one of your mansions and sulk in private. Exactly. That is how I feel. One of your many mansions because you make millions and millions of dollars every time you are brought out to speak at an event. Go wipe your tears with your $100 bills. Put the book away. But of course, she didn't. Michelle Obama never does. She kept talking, which, you know, was good for me because it gave me more content. It gave us more things to laugh about. And I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but there had never been a smart, beautiful, and sexy Black woman. So thank you to her.
So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yes, you can be a Black woman, a tall 5'11" Black woman.
Look at her just waiting for that applause. She's like, and a Black woman. And she looks over and she's like, I'm waiting, I'm race baiting, where's my applause? And the audience responds like seals, oh, Michelle, we love you. But of course, they were given no grace. I mean, make it make sense, Michelle. And I'm sorry, you know, Beyonce, I'm sorry, Diana Ross, I'm sorry, Whitney Houston and Oprah, I'm sorry. It's too bad that you lacked all of those things, that you weren't beautiful, smart, and sexy until Michelle Obama came along to pave the path. And also, taking blackness out of it, she's saying that she showed that you could be a beautiful, smart, and sexy first lady, that she was the first one. What about the other first ladies? What about Jackie Kennedy? What about any of them? Are you saying that they were not as sexy as you? I mean, Michelle, at this point, I think you need to go to college at GCU to learn some real history about the women that came before you. And Grand Canyon University is a private Christian university in the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, offering over 360 academic programs, all informed by industry and student learning outcomes, and it is affordable. In addition to federal grants and aid, GCU's on-campus students received approximately $196 million in scholarships in 2024, and many have the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. GCU truly cares about the students. They do not want to take advantage of you like so many other schools, in my opinion. They want to get you trained. They want to get you educated and into the workforce so that you can start making money and building your future, which is what higher education should be about. If you're interested in learning more about them and finding your purpose with GCU, just visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see what scholarships you may qualify for. Also, admissible high school seniors and transfer students can schedule a complimentary visit from anywhere in the country. So start finding your purpose at GCU today. It is private, it's Christian, and it's affordable. Again, visit gcu.edu/myoffer to learn more. And I don't know about you, but I am always looking for simple ways to eat more fruits and vegetables and get those into my diet, especially when I'm running around like a crazy person and I'm not able to meal prep or eat full meals every single day. And Balance of Nature fruits and veggie supplements make that so easy. With Balance of Nature, there are no binders, no fillers, no flow agents in their supplements, just ingredients from 16 whole fruits and 15 whole vegetables, and they are freeze-dried and lab tested. Their supplement powders are made from 100% whole foods, delivering the natural goodness of fruits, vegetables, spices, and fibers just as nature intended. And they're not just convenient, they are the original balance of color, taste, and smell. And guys, I love this company. I've been working with them for over 3 years now. They are one of my OG sponsors, and I just adore them. So if you're ready to get started with them, go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code Brett at checkout. Again, balanceofnature.com, use code Brett at checkout. Now, back to the story. The point is, everything is always about Michelle. It is a pity party and everything revolves around Michelle. It is just nauseating to no end. And it is also just completely out of touch and disrespectful, but not as out of touch as this next clip that we're gonna watch. And this might be my favorite one because it is so insane. Let's watch.
I didn't really have that choice as first lady.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Every day, every time I was up, as we called it, I was up for the public.
Yes.
And the days were long. So as you mentioned, to save time.
Yes.
I know having a glam team, a trifecta, it feels like a luxury, but it was a time. Necessity.
Yes.
There's absolutely no way that I would be able to do my hair and makeup and have clothes ready that fit, because rare is the woman that can live off the rack.
Yes.
Okay, so there are just so many layers of this clip to unpack. First of all, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Meghan Markle sat down to do her first long-form interview, and she showed up in like the sweatpants and the no makeup, and she's like being all relatable. She was on the podcast with this woman, Jamie Kern Lima. This is the woman who throughout that entire podcast was like, yes, oh, yes, Meghan, you're so amazing. Basically, this poor woman is solidifying herself as the affirmer of the perpetual victims, Meghan Markle and Michelle Obama. Like, Jamie, please, I am begging you, please get somebody empowered to come on your podcast. Somebody who is not going to just talk about how their privilege is actually just, it is just oppression, because I am getting a bit tired and I feel like your face being frozen in a perpetual state of insane affirmation cannot be good for you. Anyway, moving on from that, what Michelle just said here is that having a glam team every single day, having her clothes tailored, was not a luxury. No, it was just for time. Okay, you know what you can say that might have been better? You could say, I was so grateful to have a hair and makeup team every single day. You had to be a public person every single day. That took a toll on you, but how wonderful it was to have people get you ready every single day and make sure that you could see the public and look your best, and how that was an adjustment going from, just being a civilian who was not in public to being a public person and having that, but how grateful you are and how they made you into the woman that you are so that you could publish this book with your 200 favorite photos of yourself. Like, that would be a good way to go about it, because I'm sorry, Michelle, but having a glam team literally is a luxury. Like, every single day that I got my makeup done when I was at Daily Wire and doing comment section, because I had my makeup done every single day for that, It was a gift. It was relaxing. I got to go in, put on a little cape, relax. They would do my hair, do my makeup. I don't have that anymore. Like, it was so great because I got to sit and work on my laptop. I had extra time to work on the show. I always felt my best. It was way better than when I do my makeup myself. Like, that objectively is a privilege. It is a luxury. The Cartier family, or Cartier, I don't know how they pronounce it, but they have hilarious YouTube videos. But they commented and said, I don't know why she tries so hard to be relatable. It always sounds like a rich person complaining about being rich. Yes, because that's what it is. Like, factually, that's what it is. This woman said she didn't have a choice because she had to hide that she's a man. Big Mike showing up with her glam team. But on the flip side, Bridget Fennessy commented and said, I know Michelle Obama isn't a man because she never shuts up. Now, she's always complaining. She's always talking. Nobody can shut her up. I think we have ended the conspiracy right there. And also, the other thing we need to touch on is the very last thing that she said in that clip where she says, you know, rare is the woman that can live off the rack. So what she's saying is rare is the woman that can just go to a store, can go to Nordstrom, can go to Marshall, TJ Maxx, just pick up a shirt and put it on. I'm sorry, Michelle, 99% of American women do that. Whether or not they actually can fit in the clothes, they just simply do, and they get by and they make it work because they do not have the actual luxury of having people tailor their every shirt and every pant. Like, I am on camera every single day doing a show. I've been on camera for the last almost 4 years straight, and I think I can count on one hand the amount of times I have had to get something tailored, and it was almost always for a special event. I think Daily Wire put it together. That is also a privilege, and it is not wrong to acknowledge that and be grateful for it. Not everything has to be you competing for the gold medal in the Oppression Olympics. Somebody commented and said, does she ever not bitch about her life? No, that's why she created a podcast, so she can have an outlet to do that every single day. Somebody else said, here's how hard I had it with wealth and privilege most could never dream of. Yeah, exactly. Like, remember earlier this year on her podcast where she was complaining, nauseatingly, she was complaining about how they had to pay for their own food in the White House and how it was such a shock that if they wanted to go on vacation, they had to pay for it, like the rest of America. Michelle, I'm sorry, get in line. I'll see you in Group C on American Airlines. That is just how the world works. We pay for things. Most of us do not expect the taxpayers to fund our every move. Now, again, that was probably my favorite clip, but we are still not done because Michelle is not finished obsessing over herself, her struggles, and her blackness because as a black woman, guys, she had to show off her femininity, which is now what she's showing off in this book.
You want to be professional, at least I did. I wanted to be taken seriously, but there is the expectation there's a level of femininity to being the first lady. And as a black woman, I felt that I had to make sure that people could see my feminine side.
Why is it as a black woman? You could have just said that you wanted to be taken seriously, but also wanted to show your feminine side, because I think that is something that could have actually been relatable. You were almost there, because I think a lot of women do feel that way. They're in the workplace, they might work a corporate job, they don't want to be looked down upon, they don't want to be objectified, whatever it is, they want to dress seriously, for the job that they're doing, but they also don't want to lose their femininity. That is an interesting conversation, and yet she had to go and just ruin it all by being and as a black woman, when it was not even relevant, when it was not relevant in the slightest. And again, I think she's forgotten that there have been incredibly famous feminine black women throughout our country's history. So Michelle, it does not always need to be about race. But guys, why am I even saying that? Because with Michelle Obama, it always is about race. She is certifiably obsessed with race.
We have to start educating people about all kinds of beauty.
Yes.
And our beauty is so powerful and so unique that it is worthy of the conversation, and it's worthy of demanding the respect that we're owed for who we are and what we offer to the world.
I get literally, okay guys, what also cracks me up is that this is not in one interview. I am showing you clips from a myriad of different press hits and podcasts, and every single one of them, you have Stephen Colbert, you have Jamie Kern Lima, whatever her name is, you have this woman, absolutely, Michelle, oh, I'm so interested. That Stephen Colbert clip, he's leaning in as she's waiting for the applause as she says that she's a black woman. He's like, yes, Michelle, why are we doing this? This is so ridiculous. Her word salad that she just laid out there, where she is demanding respect because she is a black woman. People need to respect my beauty because of the color of my skin. And I watched this and I was like, wow, yeah, Michelle, I guess I really need to work on respecting black women for their black beauty. Haven't thought about that before. What even, can you imagine if I sat down and I did an interview and I said, you all need to respect me for my white beauty. Actually, I am owed respect. I demand respect from my white beauty. No, that means that people would lose their damn minds. But instead, the Obama fandom is just tripping over themselves, applauding this pity party, the oppression Olympics. It is certifiably absurd. But the comments, that has redeemed everything for me. They have just been great. Somebody commented and said she can talk about black beauty all she wants. Just don't get upset when I talk about how empowering my white beauty is. Somebody else really brought the point home and said, respect isn't something anyone is owed because the color of their skin or gender. It is earned through character, actions, and integrity. The beauty of America is that we value equality, not entitlement. Michelle, strength isn't about demanding respect. It is about living in a way that commands it. Exactly. And I think that Michelle has lived a life that could command respect. She has lived an objectively interesting and great life. I feel like that is enough, but instead, she is so eager and desperate for attention and, people fawning all over her, bowing in front of her for the oppression Olympics, that she has to make everything about race and how she is such a perpetual victimhood. And when you have been conditioned, like she has, like so much of our country has, to believe that you can just get things by asserting your victimhood, empowerment and earning respect is a hard concept to grasp, unfortunately. Somebody else commented and said, their beauty is so unique that most of them wear fake hair. The shallowness is hysterical. Somebody else said that's why she wears her hair natural, I suppose. All that beauty it exudes is just too much. Now, speaking of the comments about her hair, don't worry, guys. Michelle also talked about that. And this was the statement that really got other women fired up online.
Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act, an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't.
We understand about our hair as women of color that the way our hair naturally grows out of our head is beautiful, but if we struggle to make it look like the standard, that means we are spending thousands of hours and lots of money straightening out what is naturally curly hair, right? And that takes time out of your life. It costs money.
Oh, gosh, guys, it costs money as women of color to do our hair. White women just could not understand. I guess my monthly hair appointments just aren't worth anything. I guess I'm not spending any money. Michelle, I'm over it. I genuinely am. I'm obviously not over it because I'm doing an entire episode about it, so I guess I should be self-aware. But I'm just telling you all that I'm done. And of course, hair is racist. What isn't racist? My friend Olivia Rondeau, who's just fantastic, you guys should follow her on X, she posted and she said, or you could just wear your natural texture for free like every other race of women do. It's healthier than straightening it or wearing a random Asian lady's hair as a wig, which never fools anyone, by the way. Another woman said, it is so racist to have my natural curls. Michelle Obama, get real, sister. Unfortunately, though, Michelle is never going to get real because her attention-grabbing, race-baiting victimhood is the only thing she has going for her now. Babylon Bee posted this and said, scientific algorithm determines most oppressed person in history is Michelle Obama because of her black beauty and everything she has had to endure. I mean, that basically is not even satire at this point because that is truly what Michelle believes. This account said on a scale of likability, Michelle Obama falls somewhere between North Korea and gout. That's harsh. But every time Michelle opens her mouth, I agree even more. Like, she is obsessed with being black and how hard that is and how nobody understands her struggles, even though she is a beloved first lady, even though she is super rich and now has a New York Times best-selling book celebrating how beautiful she is. Even with all of that, we just simply do not understand the struggles that she goes through every single day. Now, somebody alluded to this and posted this comment from Thomas Sowell that reads, when people get used to preferential treatment, equal treatment seems like discrimination. I mean, it's so spot on. She can't ever be happy with equality and the prosperity that she and her husband have achieved because she always needs to be struggling. She always needs to be complaining because she's gotten used to it, because that is now her brand. And that is actually something that Booker T. Washington was speaking about over 100 years ago. Read this quote from his 1911 book, My Larger Education. He writes, There is another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. I mean, it is as if Booker T. Washington looked into the future. He saw Michelle Obama, he saw BLM, he saw the LGBTQ community, he saw the modern left, and then he wrote this in his book, because I've never read anything that so accurately predicted or sums up what our victimhood-centric culture really is. And you know, we live in an amazing country. Yes, it is flawed. We are dealing with some stuff right now, but it is still ripe with opportunity. It is ripe with equality. And Michelle Obama has lived a hugely magnificent life. She is wildly influential, she is beloved, and yet she chooses to wield that power by spreading negativity, by deepening the divide between the political parties, and possibly even more frequently between the races. And not because it is good for society or progressing anything, but because it is good for her. At the end of the day, that is all she cares about. So at least we can laugh about it. At least we have spent the last 20 however many minutes laughing about it, because that's about all we can do.